Let's try that again. Good morning. Welcome to this awards assembly today. This is a very special day. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But to start us off today, we have the national anthem, which will be sung by Maya Overson and Angelo Salonga.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My name is Kevin Cordes. I am the district superintendent for the Muroc Joint Unified School District, and it is my pleasure to be able to preside today at this event. We are here to celebrate Mr. Mike Kirkley. I'd call him Dr. Kirkley. I think he deserves that title. He is amazing. We're going to hear a lot of great things about him today and possibly embarrass him just a little bit. Now, I would like to recognize district administration that is here throughout the school district. We have some individuals that will be representing the school sites that Mike works at. We also have with us today Colonel Caspers, who is the Vice Command for Edwards Air Force Base. We're very grateful to have the partnership that we do here at Edwards Air Force Base, most especially with senior leadership who work very closely with us to support children. We also have Dr. Paul Foster, who's here today. He'll be presenting the award in a little bit. And to begin, our order of speakers today will be Mr. Rob Kostopoulos, principal at Boron Junior Senior High School. He will speak, followed by Cynthia Walker, who is Special Projects Coordinator and works very closely with Mr. Kirkley and all of our CTE programs. Following her remarks, Dr. Foster will present the award, the Charles Taylor Award, and then we'll ask Mr. Kirkley if he would please share a few remarks. Now, in addition to Mr. Kirkley today, we are also pleased to be joined by Mrs. Kirkley. So we have the entire dynamic duo today. I hope that you all pay attention. We are broadcasting this and memorializing it in a video format for those in the future, but for students, if you would like to film this because you love Mr. Kirkley so much and hold it over his head later and embarrass him, feel free to do so. Just make sure that you don't disrupt anybody else around you. Please make sure that your phones are silenced if you would, and with that, we'll invite Mr. Kostopoulos to say a few words.
So if public speaking wasn't nervous enough, yeah, let's go ahead and turn the lights off to the crowd. Let's put a bright spotlight on us. Thanks for the confidence boost. All right, I'm enjoying that. The day I met, I've never called you doctor, but I'm going to call you doctor. The day I met the doctor, I knew we were going to be friends. We weren't going to be colleagues. I knew we would become friends, and he is my friend, and I appreciate our friendship. He's the most down-to-earth man I've ever met in my entire life. Boots are on the ground, and that's who he is. And he is a What you see is what you get, and I love that about him. And I think he appreciates that about me, and I think that's why we bond well together. At Boron High School, you are passionate to our children, and I think that that is what I absolutely love the most about you. And I know you are passionate to the desert children as well, okay? But what I enjoy more than anything is I love that you want our kids to succeed after high school. And I love that you are hands-on with getting our kids experience that will land them a career. And when a couple of our kids have actually landed those careers, the smile on your face said it all. I didn't need to know anything. I didn't need to hear you speak. I didn't need any words from you to know that you truly love those kids and you are happy for what you have provided them. Because without you, that program would not be there. You have support on this stage. There are people on this stage that have made that program possible, but you brought that. You came boots on the ground and you wanted Boron kids to thrive in those positions that you have provided. And I love you for that. I value our friendship. Our friendship is going to continue, I know that. Hopefully this Sunday we're going to have a good time working on your friend's airplane. I was telling Kevin I must be able to speak Dr. Kirkley because you have invited me to turn wrenches with you, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. So if you wonder if Boron High School loves you or not, the kids here love you. The other people that came today value you very much, and I look forward to our friendship, and I don't want it to end. And I appreciate you, and I hope that we honor by being here today. I'm honored to speak. Our kids are glad to be here, and it's for you. Thank you very much.
Hi, guys. Mr. Kirkley. It is. I'm going to pretend to see you guys there, but I'm talking to him, so bear with me on this one. Mr. Kirkley, I did not have anything prepared because that would do you an injustice for the impact that you've had just on my own personal experiences and enhancements in my careers and passions, in addition to the students here. And there's one student in particular that I put on the spot yesterday with attending, and he would probably be really mad at me if I had him came up here in jeans, so I'm not going to, unless he proves me wrong and comes up in the wing right now. But small story tell, I grew up with a love for aviation. My house was in the flight line of Van Nuys Airport, and that was something that my dad and I did every air show and every weekend during the day. We would just sit out by the pool. He'd have his beverage, and I would have my water. And we would look up, and we would watch all these amazing planes come through. And as I got older, I found that maybe there could be some kind of gig in this, and I had no idea that aircraft maintenance technology and or power plants and airframes and all this stuff was something that was tangible for even high school students to do. I thought this was a job for the guys that wanted to get their hands oily and whatnot. And so I looked at airport operations, and I did my gig with the airlines, and I fell in love with aviation even more. Decided to do this thing in education, and I've somehow found a path back into aviation. And I can't be more gracious enough that your program has embraced these students, because I had no concept, again, that this could be something that's brought in to even our 13-year-olds, our 12-year-olds, to be able to learn how to safety wire. And they get excited about this. And we joke about drilling straight holes, but they need straight holes. We've learned in the industry, they need straight holes and rivets punched correctly. And for the girls, right, there's another female over in Boron that we are just excited about. We are so excited to see what you do in your future. And Miss Wilson, that's at Propulsion Lab, right? This program has been so inclusive, not just for the guys that get their hands dirty, that put rockets on a tin can to make them go, but for the girls that are ladies that are venturing into the industry in something other than, as I say, high heels and skirts, asking if you want a bottle of water. So thank you for bringing your passion, your entire life, to our classrooms, because this wouldn't have been possible for the Antelope Valley High Schools, and I'll include Mojave into this. It wouldn't have been possible without you. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you've been able to allow me to define that aerospace is my passion, and that I want to make sure that I advocate for that for our students as much as I possibly can. So thank you.
Congratulations, Mike. Okay, I'm Dr. Paul Foster with the Federal Aviation Administration. Some of you may recognize those initials, FAA. It's part of a song, y'all know it, la la la, fa la la fa, and whatever. Okay, so since we're talking about getting interested in aviation, and that's a hard act for me to follow, when you become interested in aviation and you just have it. So I'm gonna throw my little 2 cents in there. I became interested in aviation in the 3rd grade. Seriously, 3rd grade. That aviation bug bit me and would not let go. And it still hasn't let go. I enjoy it so much that I joined the Air Force, aircraft maintenance. Spent 21 years turning wrenches, maintenance control, and became a master instructor teaching others to work on the aircraft. Retired, went to a 147 school, teaching individuals the love of aviation. And then the FAA called me and said, "You still interested?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And so working on my doctorate, just so that you know, my dissertation was recruiting women and minorities in aviation maintenance. And I've got a project that I worked on prior to retiring that were individuals in the Air Force going for their A&P could get credit for being in the Air Force through the community college of the Air Force. And that is an exemption that it still exists today. Why? Because I make sure it does. I peek in every year. Now, having done that, and I got to my best position now that I get to do these presentations, and it's the Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award, and it's named in honor of Mr. Taylor. Some of you may recognize the name, particularly if you've been talking to Mr. Kirkley. I know he mentioned Charles Taylor, and I know some of y'all were like sitting there going, "Who? Is he in the class? Where does he sit?" You know, but he built the Wright brothers engine by hand. I'm gonna let that sink in just for a couple of seconds, because there wasn't a lot of power drills and equipment out there for him to do that. Just to throw a little, how shall I say, a little sweetener in there, the Wright brothers had gone to the car manufacturers and said, "Here's our plans for an engine. Can you build it?" And they went, "No, no, no." And finally the Wright brothers said, "Hey, let's ask Charlie." And he goes, "Okay, when do you want it?" And he built it. So he started us off. The Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award recognizes the lifetime, let me say that again, the lifetime accomplishments of senior mechanics. Now we say senior mechanics, that has nothing to do with his age. It's seniority, senior mechanics. And Mr. Taylor served as a Wright brothers mechanic, designing and building that engine. Now to give you guys an idea to the eligibility of this award, you must hold either the U.S. Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, or the FAA Mechanic or Repairman Certificate. You must have, and be documented in some way, 50 or more years of civil and military maintenance experience. Whew. Now, here's the kicker. up to 20 years of military experience can be used towards the Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award. I have to check his credentials because he's got 20 years in here. So, but we'll check that later. And it used to be that the years of experience had to be consecutively. And then I guess the FAA realized, well, wait a minute, people move jobs and, okay, so it can be non-consecutive. It just has to add up to 50 years. I already talked to Dr. Kirkley on the phone, and he assured me that he can count up to 50. I'm serious. And I said, well, do you have any proof? He said, yes, my wife, Jo. I said, okay, good enough for me. Got to be a U.S. citizen and your certificate, any certificate that you have from the FAA. So that includes mechanic, repairman, pilot certificate cannot and must not have been revoked. If it does, any certificate you hold, that's revoked. So some people go, well, I got a pilot and a mechanic certificate. Oh, well, my pilot certificate got revoked, but I can still get the mechanic award. Wrong answer. Any certificate that's revoked disqualifies you. I just want y'all to know Mr. Kirkley was hiding, but I found him. So just to let, he asked me a question the other day, so just to let you guys know, as of January 16th of this year, we have approximately 3,470 honorees on the Wall of Honor. But it's updated every month. Every month. And for Dr. Kirkley's information, we have been doing these awards now, presenting them for a little over 20 years. So we've been doing a kind of a good item there. So now let me get into Dr. Kirkley's stuff. Now I can see some of your students, so I'm gonna start off this way. Is there anybody in the audience that was born prior to 1973? Okay. The only reason I'm pointing that out is because Dr. Kirkley's maintenance experience begins in 1973. I heard somebody down here go, I wasn't even born then. Don't worry about it. You're good. Okay? And he went to the Air Force, reciprocating engine mechanic. And if some of you are in the class, you're going to know about those. Jet engine mechanic, a QA inspector. He was a specialist flight chief. And then he went somewhere else and became a helicopter engine crew lead mechanic. And he stayed in the Whirly Whopper helicopters for a while. And then he started working for some different agencies, and then he became a director of maintenance. That is a very heavy position that has a lot of responsibility. Something goes wrong with the airplane, the FAA doesn't only look at the mechanic, but they look at the director of maintenance. So if you think the director of maintenance being on you about getting things done right, that's why, because when something happens, the FAA looks at the director of maintenance and we work our way down to the mechanic. He also done some other part-time things, some engineering inspecting, worked for cargo airlines. I mean, Dr. Kirkley was just basically all over the place, you know. And I know what some of you are thinking, he got all those positions. Couldn't he hold a job? Yes, he did. But you know, when you become good, people, they reach out to you. They look for you. And then they try to entice you by offering you apples and oranges. And I accept that. Because some people go, what can you do with apples and oranges? I'm going to tell y'all now, that's the beginning of fruit salad now. So he's in all that and everything that he does. And now today, where is he? Yeah, I know some of y'all going, he's right behind you. Yes, he is. But he's here sharing knowledge with you students. And let me tell you, if you don't take advantage of it, I always tell people when they want to blame somebody, You know how that works. They always want to point their finger, and I always say, stop, freeze, look at your hand. You got one finger pointing at somebody, but you got three pointing back at yourself. So be careful before you blame somebody for not being able to do something, because you're 3 times as culpable in that. Dr. Kirkley is trying to help you straighten out your fingers. If you understand what I'm saying. Or you don't have to straighten all of them out, but he's trying to get that one curled back. Don't blame anybody. Come on, put forth an effort. So today, I am here to present an award to Dr. Kirkley. So, Dr. Kirkley, if you'll come forward, please. Oh, hey, there we go. I'm one of those individuals that, what they call those guys that would drink with anybody? They call them a social drinker. Well, I'll be a social fall guy with you, not a problem. Works for me. Okay, so in recognition of your 50 years of exemplary aviation maintenance experience, distinguished professionalism, and steadfast commitment to aviation safety, on behalf of the FAA Administrator, the Division Regional Administrator, the Regional Administrator, my office manager, my frontline supervisor. Whew. Okay, let me think. I think I'm running out of people. But yeah, y'all get the point. We love this, and we present to you the Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award. Thank you, sir. Okay, now. Come on, Joe. You don't get away free either. And see, y'all know that song by Jimi Hendrix? Hey, Joe. Where you going with that award in your hand? Hey, Joe. Oh. So, because we know behind every good person, I know that's not the way the saying goes. They say behind every good man, there's a good woman, but behind every person, there is somebody there going, get up, I got breakfast with, come on, you know you can do it, but put your feet on the floor, come on, you know, and he gets going. And then when he comes back, this is the person that he meets that says, how was your day, dear? Did you enjoy yourself? Do you need a Band-Aid? I mean, all that good stuff. So on behalf of the FAA, you get the Purdy plaque. Okay, you can share it with Dr. Kirkley if you like, but there you go. Now, again, with any educational institution, and some of you guys know, and some of you ladies know too, that there is a ceremony having to do with sororities, fraternities, you know, the likes. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so in keeping in line with that, since Dr. Kirkley has been brought into the fraternity of aviation maintenance technicians, we shall have his lovely wife pin him. Now, if you hear him scream, that's on her. Not on my nose. We're figuring this out as we go, guys.
I'm probably damaging your jacket.
You don't damage your finger. She's a crew chief's wife. Give me a hammer. There it is. Hammers, pliers, fix anything. Okay. Now, just like sorority fraternities, guess what? We're not done yet. Dr. Kirkley, you get to pin the significant other.
My turn now. Here you go. You can. Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, you don't get an opportunity to do this stuff every day.
You may never again.
Probably not.
Could be not.
I'm trying to.
Can't take him anywhere.
There we go.
Look at that.
Hold on.
Look at a set of knives.
Okay, so the FAA has a file on many of the airmen. When you test, retest, submitting paperwork, renew, and whatever, they got some stuff on you. Well, we got some stuff on him, let me tell you. So, Dr. Mrs. Kirkley, come on over. Yeah, come on, right? No, I'm talking about you. Yeah, he can. No, yeah, you're right there. Okay.
All right. What about
So what I'm about to present to the Mrs. Dr. Kirkley is a certified true copy of hubby's record. Now the reason I'm giving it to her, because when they go to parties and things of this nature, she had to hear all those stories about there I was in the rain. Oh, in the sun, on my back. Oh, geez, turning the wrenches. Here we go. Well, now I am giving her a document with proof that she can use that says, let me see if what you told me last week was really true. And if it's not, then what she could do is, for every, let me say, inconsistent item she finds in here, she can deny him part of the breakfast and dinner table. So in other words, she can set the table. You got the plate, the knife, the fork, the spoons, and the cups. You find any inconsistency, you start taking things off the table. There goes the cup, there goes the spoon, the knife, the fork. Oh, there goes the plate. And now Dr. Kirkley goes, well, what am I going to eat? I find inconsistency. You go find your own dinner. I'm just saying. So, Mrs. Dr. Kirkley, here is a certified true copy of all the stories he tried to tell you. Now you have
Okay.
proof
Thank
whether or
you.
not it's true.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay? So,
I'll be five.
We're in trouble now.
Thank you very
so,
much.
ladies and gentlemen, with that, I present to you the 50-year Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award awardee now, Dr. Michael Ray Kirkley. And the mic is yours, sir.
Okay, let's see here. Joe.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Have a seat, everybody, please. Boy, I don't really know what to say other than thank you. I didn't get here because of just me. This is, well, just let me say a couple of things. Please bear with me here. I'll try not to break down and start blubbering like a fool, but one of the things that I have to, in the position that I'm in now, there are about 3 or 4 people that I need to mention. Thank you for doing that. I was just going to ask to have that brightened up a little bit. Kevin over here, our superintendent. Kevin has played a very pivotal role in me being where I am right now. It all started with some biscuits and gravy at Crazy Autos. And is Ed Campbell out here? Did Ed make it? Oh, darn. Well, Ed and Kevin and me had biscuits and gravy together one day here a while back, and that's where all this craziness started with this district anyway. But prior to that, there are a large amount of people who helped me get where I am right now. Supervisors, mentors, friends, enemies. We all have people that we're grateful to, and those of you who are in here right now watching me get this award are all part of this as well. This front row right here, my boron folks. My desert students, can you raise your hands, please? A couple of them. Now, I just got, stand up, Colin. Yes, you did. I understand that you're going to be working at 1600 here soon. So that's another shining example of our program in working progress. Now, I would be sadly remiss not to mention this next group of people. When I was at California City High School before coming here, I don't believe I said that. Can I say that? Okay. I had several students over there that were students of mine that are now working here on the base at the jet engine shop. So with that said, Greg, can you guys all stand up just for a second, please? And Savannah, you too. Greg here, the guy with the white hair, kind of like mine. He's the guy, the propulsion flight chief here on the base. And he has employed these four people standing here next to him, Kevin, Edwin, Savannah, and Javin down there on the end. Savannah, she is as most of you boronites know, she is one of yours. She graduated last year, and now she's working at the jet engine shop as a jet engine mechanic, and that's what it's all about. These guys right here, and a couple of others, are proof that our program works. And with that said, you guys can go ahead and sit back down now. Thank you. Don't want you to take too much glory here. But there are a lot of reasons that I'm here, and these are just some of those reasons. But the next person I'm going to talk about just briefly is my wonderful wife, Jo. If it wasn't for her, she's what I do this for. She is what makes me tick. She's a catalyst. So, Jo, what can I say? There are some people that I need to thank here real quick. Nate Dixon. He's helped us put our job shadowing program together. Those of you that are involved in that program, those of you that are in the job shadowing program right now, can you just stand up just for a second, please? Desert, you guys too. There you are, back there in the back. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people here that are in our job shadowing program that, again, Colin back there is proof that it works. So that's all I can think of. Did I miss anything? Okay. Well, again, thank you all very much for coming here this morning. I appreciate it. It's not every day that you get to see an old gray-haired fart like me get something like this, but I'm honored, humbled to be here. And again, thank you all very much for coming out. And I'm going to shut up now. Kevin, it's your turn.
Thank you all for being here today. Just a few closing remarks, and then we'll get you back to class if you're students or back to employment if you're an adult. So people ask me sometimes, what does a school superintendent do? There's a lot of answers to that, but one of them is superintendents have to be able to look around the corner. You got to be able to find talent. You have to see possibilities and potential in people, in programs, in children, and in adults. And when I was invited to come and meet Mike Kirkley over some biscuits and gravy and was told, this is somebody I think we should talk to, it was immediately evident that he was absolutely critical to what we were trying to accomplish for you kids. That there was a missing ingredient, and he filled that need that we had. We had no expectations that the program would be as successful as it has been and as it will continue to be, and that is because of Mr. Kirkley. All I have to do is find talent and then ask them, what do you need, and get out of their way. And in doing that, he has built what you all enjoy right now. Not anyone can do that. There's a lot of people that have big dreams, big ideas, but making them come to fruition, building something, and actually accomplishing that dream, that's a harder task to fill. Mr. Kirkley has not only accomplished everything he said he could do for us, but he has far exceeded anything that he promised me that he thought he could do. We wouldn't have the success we do without him specifically. So in a week, or during a week, where I will bury my father-in-law, I've had to bury a lot of people in my life. And I always find it kind of sad that it isn't a lot of times until somebody has passed away that we gather together as a group of people and we say really nice things about them. Isn't it unfortunate that we can't have like a pre-funeral so the person can actually hear all those really nice things that people think about them? While this is not a pre-funeral, I am so glad that we were able to gather together to do this today. Now, every time I fly, I do a certain thing, and this is just a personal thing with me, but I get into the aircraft, I sit down in my assigned seat, I buckle up so that I'm, following the rules, I put it on airplane mode, and then I say a little prayer. I pray for the pilots, I pray for the ground crew, I pray for the staff, the support staff, the team that's there on the aircraft, and I pray for the maintainers, because you cannot pull an airplane over and fix something. That doesn't happen like in a vehicle. You're driving down the road and something bad happens and you just turn on the emergencies and pull over. That does not happen in an aircraft. So it needs to be maintained. We don't fly these things until something breaks and then we fix it. We fix things before they could ever break so that everybody enjoys the flight and makes it back home safely. Mr. Kirkley has dedicated his entire life to that. Countless people have flown, have enjoyed flight, have reached up into the places where our ancestors only stared and wondered, what would it be like to be up there? Countless people have enjoyed that experience and come back safely because of him. Not because of the work he does, and work like he does, but the work that he specifically has done. What an accomplishment to do anything professionally for 50 years. I haven't even been breathing for 50 years. And he has been doing this that entire time. What a legacy, what an accomplishment, and what an example to each and every one of us. Mr. Kirkley, Dr. Kirkley, as you shall now forever be known as. Congratulations. Thank you for being you. We can find someone that can work on an aircraft, but we can't find someone that knows how to work on kids too. That's a hard thing to figure out, and you have mastered this. You are exactly where you should be in your career at this time. I hope we get to hold on to you for as long as we possibly can. But while we do, we will enjoy gleaning out of you these 50 years worth of knowledge, because it is very difficult to find anyone that has done anything professionally for 5 full decades, and to a standard that you would be recognized for doing so. So, if you would join with me one last time, please, and stand and applaud. We are going to recognize Mr. Kirkley one last time. Thank you for coming. All right, now you students go back to class and do something with your lives.
One thing I need to do before everybody leaves, there's an individual up here that kind of brought all this together today. I'd like to thank Dr. Foster for coming up here from Riverside and presenting this award to me and Joe. I really appreciate that very much, sir. Thank you.